Good day, ma'am. I am Ramel Canieti, and for today, I'm going to discuss the Chapter 7 in Business Organization and Management, which entitled the Organizing the Physical Facilities. So the objectives of this chapter is to be able to know on how to organize facilities. And the next objective is to be able to know what to do in the selection of location, building, and equipment. So the course outline is in the beginning of this chapter, the audience is expected to learn in organizing the physical activities. In the middle of this topic, the audience is expected to learn the essence of organizing physical facilities. And lastly, at the end of this topic, the audience is expected to know what is organizing facilities. So, steps in organizing facilities. So, there are 5 steps in organizing facilities. First is the selection of plant location. The second is selection and erection of building. Or letter C, the selection of the equipment, and D, plant and layout, and lastly, E, installation of the equipment. So without further ado, I will discuss the first step. So selection of plant locations, so determining the region. So when you are going to organize and you are going to do examining physical facilities, you must determine the region. So what is determining the region? So this is how you kanang unsaon nimo pag tanaw or how you look up on that area or anang lugar, so when you are kanang doing a business. So the first thing you must do is proximity to the market. So when we say proximity to the market, so this is when if you are going to put a business into that area, make sure or you have to make sure that your business is accessible to the market. When we say to the market, kanang dali ra siya matuod sa mga mamalitay or sa consumer nimo or your target market. You must put your business in the area where the market is in, or your product or services is in demand to that area, and or in demand in that market. So kung tahay magbutang ka grocery store, so of course adto jud ka magbutang, or mall or any restaurant, adto jud nimo ibutang sa kanang daghag mga tao, or you put your business into the place, or for example lungsod nga kanang daghan og mga tourist nga manganha. For example, Tagbilaran. So we know that Tagbilaran is kanang Tagbilaran City is naa diha ang daghan kayong mga tao nga from different municipalities o nga manganha from other provinces. So the market there is very kanang strong. Kay if you are going to put a business in, for example, ani lang sa mga barangay, of course you can still earn, but if you are a business minded, you cannot earn high income or profit. Pila ra may tao sa barangay, di ba? So ang mamalita pod is mga silingan, or mapuro pod utang. So it is really good to put the business where the market is high. So or kanang kusog jud ang imong business, ug adto jud ka sa adto nimo ibutang sa lugar nga daghan kayo tao. And second is proximity to the raw materials. So of course kung magbutang na ka og business og nagplano ka, if you have plan on putting a business into that area, of course you must consider the raw materials. Kay what if magbutang kag business anang a lugar o niya magkuwangan day or layo ka o kinahanglanon para sa pagpatukod sa imong business. So of course it will cost you up. So dako na pud imong gasto. So you must or we must think that when we are establishing a business, the raw materials are also important. And next is the transportation facilities. So when we say transportation facilities, this will cover for not just for the business and for also to your employees. So what if you are going to put a business, for example in our town in Clarion, you are going to uh, put a salon, then your employees are from Tubigon or from Inabanga. So of course your employee must find a transportation vehicle, for example bus, jeep or something. So it is necessary to hire employees that are near and also experienced. Dili ang pud kaabi kay duol, di kana na lang pud para di na maglite. So you must find an employee that is near and well knowledge. So in also in transportation facilities, this you must uh, you must or you can have also a transportation, or you can purchase transportation vehicle for your own employees. So it's not a big deal, but it will cost you. So of course if you're going to have a business or any, then you must consider the transportation. Then adequate public and private service. So when we say adequate public and private service, so for example you are going to put a restaurant in Tagbilaran. So and the place is your lot area is just enough for your establishment. So what so of course you cannot drill your own water, or you cannot drill your own water. So what you must do is go to the, of course, the municipality, the municipio or the barangay. Okay, if you're doing a restaurant, of course you need the water. So what you must do is you must cooperate to the public, and or whether public or private, kay di masay mahimong ibuga na mo luwa ba kag tubig dili man. So kinahanglan makikooperate ka sa public or private. Then to that point, whatever you need is must or makuha nimo or madawat nimo ang imong kinahanglan. Also climate. So if you are going to put a business, you must think that kana bang lugara is kanang dili ba kana init, dili ba kana bugnaw, because it is proven naman na there are some areas that, for example, agian nagbagyo or iguanan og kilat, or kanang kinang init kaayo diha tungod kay wa kay, for example, wa kay mga kahoy nga nangana. So you must consider in putting a business the climate. So, because climates can affect your day-to-day operation. For example, you are putting the restaurant or tukod og restaurant, then the climate is to that area is kanang dali uwanon, then plus or additional pa sa karsada or agianan nga lapok. So in your day-to-day operation, so kung magsigi og uwan, of course tungod sa kamauton sa dan, gamay ra jud og mga na sa imuhang restaurant tungod kay lapok or ana. Next is determining the community. So when determining the community, you have to make sure that uh, to determine also the labor supply. When we say labor supply, it is the availability of persons or skilled persons who will work for your facility or who will work on the constructions of your business facilities. For example, tukod na kag restaurant, of course yuta pa man, of course you acquired a lot, so without establishment or established establishment, so imo na siyang ipa-construct or ipapanday or ana or any or something. What you must do is basin pud og magtukod kag restaurant nga walay mga trabahante ana nga lugar. So you must also consider that there are laborers in that area. Kay if you are going to hire someone from afar, then this way dinhi na mo pasok ang ikaduha is the wage scales. So when we say wage scales, kung if the or if your laborers are only comes from that community, only from that certain community where you put your establishment, is of course the wage or ang suhulon nimo is brato-brato. Kay taga dira naman sila daan, magdili na sila mo hatag pa og kanang laing or dili na sila mo gasto pag plate kayo og doon ra diha sa imo yung establishment is mo kuan lang na sila mo maglakaw ra. So, if you are going to hire someone who are far or comes from different barangay, of course the wage scales or ang suhulon is um maapektuhan. Kay if layo sila, so they will kanang mubungat sila og pila jud kay, of course for example mamasahe pa sila, then every community naman or every place has different wage scales. For example dinhi, for example sa in our barangay kanang magtanom kintay sa basak is only 350 pesos per day, but in other area or in the other barangay where most of them has kanang dagko kay mga kabasakan is every cropping gyud na sila magpamahal og sweldo. So sa amuan is 350, din sa kaning sakop sa Sagban is 400, then ari sa sakop sa Katigban is 420. So nga na, so you can really see the difference. So other enterprises in the community and the taxes and restricting laws. So also this is very important, the taxes and restricting laws, because of course if you are doing a business, you must register to the DTI, to the SEC or the Security and Exchange Commission, to make it legal, the BIR, the something, the kanang municipal permit, something like that. So we must put in mind that kung asa ta nga lugar magtukod og business, municipality or the town, the city or the province is has a huge factor when it comes to the taxes and their laws. Kay for example dinhi nga in our municipality Clarin is, for example lang this is just for an example. So dire Kintahay dili, for example dili stricto, but when it comes to Tagbilaran it's strict, of course kay Tagbilaran is well known, so they must be strict. So diri nga sa mga Kintahay nga medyo gamay-gamay pag mga business is dili pa kayo para to dili pa kayo stricto to attract more kanang businesses. or in every municipalities kalain-lain na silang mga pamalaod o pa mga pamalakad when it comes to business. Next is the choosing the plant site. So in choosing the plant site, you must or bear in mind the land. So think that if you're for example, you are going to put a restaurant, then of course you must find a land that is suitable for your establishment, and dili ang pud kay igo ra tukuran. Of course, you are doing a business, you must consider nga na kay parkinganan for vehicles and motors, bikes or something like that. So napuy ka ng kastayan outside if your restaurant is full. So something like that is very important. Of course, also the transportation, miscellaneous conditions pertaining to the surroundings. So next is selection and erection of buildings. So there are two types of buildings. Of course, the single story building and the multi-story building. When we say single story building, so these are the buildings, for example kanang down ra wala na second floor, and the multi-story building is of course the second floor, third floor, of course kanang mga condo or mga so na po sila mga advantage and disadvantages. So when we say the advantages of one story building is number one is syempre gamay ra gasto or the cost. So kaduha, next is you ka the maintenance is not high, and and the one story building is you cannot purchase many equipment or something like that because your or gamay ra. So in the multi-story building, so of course dako gasto kay abog unya mo pinaka disadvantage sa multi-story, but the advantage is you can cater or you can earn. The higher the risk is the higher the return. So that is the saying. And slide is selection of the equipment. So when you are going to purchase any equipment, you must bear in mind that every equipment is important. So of so when you are doing the business, so of course you are going to purchase an equipment for your business or facilities. So dili lang pud kay magpahala-hala lang pud ta palit kay nagpagara-gara kay na kwarta. So it is important that every equipment has uses for your operation. Kay mo nang gina di magpataka-taka og palit kay sayang ang kwarta. The next slide is letter D, the plant layout. So number one is the types of industry. So when we say continuous industry this is the products that receive at one point that are done. So for example, mudawat na lang ka og kanang humandaan. And the assembly industry is the industry, for example car or the kanang mga car manufacturing. And the second types is types of products. So whether your product is heavy or light, bugat ba or gaan, large or small, ko ba na or gamay, liquid or solid, or tubig ba or kanang mga gahi. The next is the types of operations. So wet operation. So when we say wet operations, the example ani is kanang leather tanning or textile dyeing. So kanang you are going to color the kanang mga sinina. So ang pag-color ani is kanang of course you can say that it is wet operations because more like ihumol or ngana. Next is operation which involves fire risks. So what are the examples of this? So the examples ani is kanang the firecrackers or kanang mga why do we say fire risk is we already know naman nga naanaw jud mga aksidente ani nga sa ilang factory is na cause of fire, din nasunog ng buto, so daghang there are casualties. So money ang other types of fire risk. Then letter E, the installation of the equipment. So when we are going to install the any equipment, your plan or our project must have a project studies. So okay, wala if there is no project studies, is wala, largo-largo na lang tadiha, wala tay plan. Then also the financial feasibility. So of course the financial is kanang dili man na diha kay ang kwarta na ara. So we must conduct a financial feasibility so that our magaydan ta sa ato ang pag-business o sa atong pagplano o sa mga gastoonan. So that would be all, ma'am, for this chapter. Thank you and have a great day ahead.